but let's get right into Debbie Bruce, who's, again, the topic is spring cleaning. Spring, because it started on Friday afternoon, I believe. You wouldn't know by this weather. You call yourself a chief grime fighter. You've taken on that hero persona. Yes. Way to go, Chief Crime Fighter.
I take ownership of it. It's a passion of mine. It's essential service for a lot of busy people, and especially when you have families and you have lots of activities going on. The last thing people want to do is clean, and
that's for sure.
There's a lot of companies out there that do, clean, but it's a question of how in depth and how educated are the actual people that are cleaning for their clients. So as a past course developer and instructor, I take passion in actually instructing my staff to properly clean. They have to go through Neat Freak University.
Nicely put.
Yep, and they have to learn how to clean my way. So I developed my own cleaning method through, when I started the business, just doing it on my own, and started figuring out what was the right way and the wrong way of doing things. And for me, it was all about getting through the home efficiently and quickly, right? So you want to be really good at what you do, but you also want to be quick at it. So
I bet her mom would be proud of her, Kate. I bet your mom was just like, that's my girl, that's my girl.
But one of the interesting things about spring cleaning that people may not think about at this time of year is you think about cleaning the shower, and you think about cleaning all the things that you clean, and maybe moving piles of stuff around. But one of the things you really want to focus on in the spring is opening the air and getting the air circulating back in your house. And one of the first areas that you might want to deal with is your textiles and fabrics, because they are breeding grounds for dust mites.
Don't even think about it too.
Yeah,
you think about
it. So right now, before you even start cleaning your house, I always like to go through my entire home and get rid of stuff like old newspapers, magazines, strip those beds, get proper clean mattress covers, wash things at a really hot temperature to get rid of, because dust mites really breed the most in your house in your mattresses.
What do you suggest with curtains? Like, do you dry clean them? Do you clean them once a year?
Yeah, so
they get very dusty.
So for typical drapes that you can vacuum them, and you can take a lot of vacuums have different kinds of adapters to them that you can use specifically for fabric. If you don't want to, you can certainly take them to the dry cleaners. We specialize in for people that have really high allergies, and so we encourage people not to put textiles in their homes. Wall-to-wall carpeting is another thing, right? Before you get your carpets clean your house first. Do that last, because you want all the dust and all the stuff to settle into the carpet. And then you can go ahead, and same with your windows. You want to do your windows. Don't do your sills until you do your windows. So there is a kind of a method behind your madness.
Kind of top to bottom, I suppose.
Yeah.
So here's Kath, who is, I'm sure you've got a number of plants at your home.
Yes.
This might sound like a crazy question, but do you clean your plants?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
They get dusty. They get so dusty. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's the real plants, and then there's the artificial plant lover. God bless them. For artificial plants, I highly recommend that you take them down a couple times a year. If they're smaller, I run the tub full of hot water and a little bit of dish soap.
Well, there you go.
Turn them upside down, give them a quick shake, and then you can take your hand nozzle off your shower if you have one, and you can just spray them, rinse them off, and throw them onto some bath towels and let them dry in the bathroom or in the basement or something like that. Dry flowers are not really great because they just collect dust and they're really bad.
You can relate to this, Kath?
Yes.
But for real plants, I'll let the expert talk about how to clean those. But
Well, really and truly, it's the shower. You don't want to use any of those products that are on the market, because most of them are a grease or an oil, and they coat the leaves again. And the reason you're cleaning your plants is so they can photosynthesize. Dust interferes with what the plant needs to produce green.
Right.
So really and truly, keeping them dust-free is essential. I recommend it more than twice a year. Try to do it 2 to 3 times. And if you've got big plants, put down a garbage bag and wash them. And don't as I keep saying, don't use those commercial products. There's very few of them available anymore. But a nice soft static cloth, dusting them off, sheepskin, anything like that. Keep them clean and dust-free. And anything that has the cavity between the stem and the leaf, you just get in there and gently clean them. And I usually use an old toothbrush.
Smart.
I had no idea.
Yeah, an old toothbrush.
Yeah, I actually use, I use an old toothbrush, or we have special little brushes that are equivalent to that, in that we use for cleaning small spaces in bathrooms and shower tracks and things like that. But yeah, another thing you can do too is take some water, and filtered water preferably, and just give your leaves a good spray in between so that you don't have to clean them, you know.
I did that with my kids.
Spray them down.
Yeah, they're all clean. It's good to go. You know what always throws me off too are the vents. When you open up, you know, like really open them up and take a look to see what's accumulated over the last couple of months. That's disgusting.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that we work on as well, is cleaning the cold air vents, the cold air returns, and then the floor vents. I actually even take them out when they get dirty, especially in bathrooms and places where there's a lot of steam and traffic. And actually, you can, the plastic ones that are in the floor, you can actually just throw those in the dishwasher.
Oh, there you go.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then when you're finished cleaning your floors and everything, which you would always do very, very last of all your cleaning, then you can just put them back and they're nice and clean and all the dust has already been removed.
How often do you recommend having a furnace cleaned then?
I recommend, for me personally, it depends on your family, how many people you have. Pets are a huge consideration, and how much fabric you actually have in your house, or textiles. So if you have lots of wall-to-wall carpeting and things like that, you might need to do it more often, but I would recommend at least getting your furnaces cleaned, examined once a year, but you can also change your filters. I change them with the season.
The season.
And what's one thing, quickly as we wrap up here, do people forget about? What is one thing that people overlook?
One piece of advice you would give, if there's one thing.
People forget to look up. So I would say the ceiling fans and things like that.
Oh yeah, look how dirty it is up here.
So you know, we go into homes and they've got their stand-up fans that they use to just oscillate in their rooms, or the ceiling fans that are built in. They have a nice clean room, but they forget to clean them, and they're full of dust and stuff.
They're flying. It's flying around now. They're circulating the dust.
So clean your fans and the sources where the dust is coming from.
Good advice. Thank you so much for joining us.
The family involved. Help me out, ladies. It's not always difficult or not always easy to get the family involved or on the same page. So what are you two doing to convince the family that, yeah, this is the way to go, Debbie?
Well, when the kids were little, they're all moved out now and on their own. But when they were little, I used to give them each chores on Saturdays that they had to accomplish. So one of the kids would do the dusting, another one would do the vacuuming, and the little one, we'd get him to maybe load the washer, or you know, maybe do some smaller type tasks. He was smaller and closer to the ground and liked to play with his truck. So a lot of times I'd say, okay, wipe the baseboards or the banister going down the stairs while you're playing. You know, just try to incorporate it in his playtime, and he used to think of it as a game. So it all worked out.
Yeah.
You know what I like to do? I set a timer. I do the 20 minutes or however much time I have, or an hour if I have it, and just go to town. And then when that buzzer goes off, I can stop, no matter what I'm doing.
That's a great idea. I like that.
Well, and it's really what Christine was talking about is really, really key. You can't really clean until you organize. You can't really do an effective, speedy, like, so who really likes to clean? Well, I like to clean because I guess it's in my DNA, but
not around a whole bunch.
Not around a whole bunch of
services.
Exactly.
Really clean thoroughly. Exactly.
Yeah. So if you get organized, and some people do one of two things: either clean as you do each room, as you're going to clean the room, declutter it first and put everything away, or your alternative is to do all your decluttering and everything on one day and then do your cleaning on another day.
Christine, you agree with that?
Yeah, and it really depends what gives you the most satisfaction. If you want to feel like bedroom's done, the kitchen's done, whatever really works for you. You got to come up with a system that works for you and your family, and that you know is functional. I mean, if you have kids who are in sports, you might need a different system than some senior people who have a different lifestyle. So every family has to develop their own system.